Well, hello. My name is Daddy-O, and why hustlers make the greatest, the best Uber drivers. They're the guys that can make it work. And I'm going to address that today in this video, okay? Also, I'm going to address the question of the fact, does Daddy-O work for Avis and Uber? Is he undercover? Is he doing these videos for a reason? We're going to talk about that today. Now, understand this. On these videos, on this channel, I only talk about what I do and what I've made work for me, and I try to express that here, okay? So it's always my opinion on what I'm talking about here, all right? I got comments, all right? Anyway, the other thing we're going to talk about today is I've determined that there are only two ways to make Uber and do it and make it work. Because I get comments from you guys out there that are making both of these ways work. One of them's the way I work, and then there's another way that people are determined to prove the fact that it works for them. All right. So we're going to talk a little bit about that also. And also today, I'm going to let you know, I get questions a lot from people asking about the acceptance rate or questions about they're working on their acceptance rate and they're trying to get their acceptance rate up, blah, 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 blah. I've had a little trick that I've used for years and I've expressed it in some videos. So I'm going to tell you how to fix your acceptance rate. If you're worried about your acceptance rate, there's a little trick you can use that will help your acceptance rate gradually go up, okay? I use it all the time, all right? Anyway, let's go with this, okay? Why hustlers make great Uber drivers, all right? People that have all their life have been able to figure out how to get it done, how to life itself, how they have struggled through life, but they've always been able to figure it out, all right? Those are the people that seem to be able to do Uber and take it to where they can make. It's because of the comments I get on here. You can tell when people comment sometimes because they'll explain things on how they have made not just Uber work, but life sometimes work. I get comments that are pretty sometimes detailed. I do get emails. So it seems to me like me. I know I'm 72 freaking years old. I've always been able to figure out how to get it done, how to make it happen, all right? And because of being fortunate enough to be in this business and have worked for high-end transportation companies in the past, I learned little tricks as a younger person about transportation and how it should be done to make, and I always talked about this, and some people just don't get it. And the other people in this two-way system are probably not getting it, all right? There are ways to make things happen in the transportation business that gets you extras, makes you more, all right? And there's videos on here. I'm not going to detail that out on this video. There are ways to make the extras, all right? Now, I'm going to go ahead and go right into it. Daddy-O is not an Avis plant. I don't work for Avis. I don't work for Uber. I work for myself. All right. I get out here and I hustle it. I get it done. All right. So those guys that are commenting that I'm a scam, I'm a plant, and all that kind of stuff. No, from your lips to God's ear. If they want to pay me some jack to get out here and talk things that work, I'll talk about things that work. All right. And I've made it work for me. All right. So no, I'm not working for Avis. I'm not working for Uber. I work for myself. All right. And these comments that I make are my opinion, all right? There's two ways, in my opinion, that you can do Uber and make it work. You can get out here and hustle either of these ways. You can go buy you a car, cheap, that qualifies for Uber, that's in somewhat good condition, all right? And you can go out and you can hustle your butt off and you can go out and you can make it work. Just make sure, and I've said it before, and guys, when I say this, it's not to scare anyone. It's just to let you know, if you're doing Uber in your personal car, make sure you got the insurance and your insurance company knows that you're doing Uber. All right. Make sure your finance company knows that you're doing Uber. All right. You can make it work. Just make sure that your head's up on that. Okay. Because there are a lot of stories in the world. I've reported them on this channel. Things happen. All right. And you can lose your ride for just an accident. be in an accident. Next thing you know, it's not being repaired and it's being repoed. It happens, all right, guys? So that's one way of doing it, though, in your personal vehicle, getting out here and making it work. There are guys out here that are hustlers. They're making it work. I get the comments from them all the time when I talk about rental. They're telling me how they make their, 2022, whatever, and they're making it work because they're making money and all that. That's great. Just watch yourself, all right? Then there's the guys out here that are just like me. Lazy, I guess you want to call us. We're lazy hustlers, all right? We don't want to have to hassle with the personal vehicle, so we do the rental, all right? That's the other side of the coin. You either go get your personal vehicle and you go out and you make it work. You hustle your butt off and you make Uber work for you, and you that's the way you do it. I did it that way before I started renting. You got to understand, I didn't start renting right away. I was in a personal vehicle, a couple of them, when I first started out doing Uber. But once I found out I could rent and I was able to incorporate what I had learned doing high-end stuff, I was sold. All right, hey, I'm renting the rest of the time I'm doing Uber. I'm not doing that to another personal vehicle. I learned my lessons. But that's the other side of the coin here. You want to call us lazy hustlers? Because I don't have to worry about a damn thing except going to work. At the end of the day, how much money was I able to make? How much do I have to pay my fee at the end of the week, next week? That's the hustle. That's the simplest way. I mean, it cost me, I was again last night, and I talk about this from time. It's cheap to charge this thing up at the end of the day. It don't cost a whole lot. Not a whole lot, gas would be outrageous right now for me. I have learned that this works for me. And a lot of other people comment on the channel about it. So if you're if you're working your personal car, comment on here. Tell us how you're hustling it. Tell us how you're making it work for you. What kind of vehicle do you have? How many, what's the deal? And if you're a rental driver, let us know about that too. How much are you making? Are you making it work? Now, I'm going to tell you, you can't just go out and rent a vehicle and expect the money to start pouring into your bank account. You got to go out there and make it work. All right. So just get in the vehicle, because I get comments from people that have returned their vehicles because they just couldn't make enough. Again, without getting into that, on this channel, there are videos that talk about the games to be played to make sure that if you're doing it, you're going to make some extras. Okay. There's just little things you can do that I learned doing the high-end stuff that I try to incorporate on this channel. So yeah, you can make it work. Just pay attention, all right? And understand that just because it sit out in the yard don't mean it's making you any money. You still got to pay a bill at the end of the week, or at the end of the day. However long you can do the half a days. You can rent it all kind of ways. You can do a rental to do your Ubering in. It's on the marketplace. But anyway, let's get into the one question that I get a lot asked or told about that I'm working on, and that's the acceptance rate fix. Here's how you fix it. It's just this easy. Every time you get a ride, Uber says, hey, go, you've accepted the ride, and Uber has given it to you, and you're fixing to roll out to go get it. Scroll the screen up, hit the red button, and stop Uber from sending you any more runs until you get done with that one run. All right? How many times do they send you a run just before you get ready to drop off and you can't look at it in time? You're closing down the last run. You're still talking to the person. You're working for the tip. The Uber is interrupting you. It's a safety feature. How many things you want me to talk about? So the easiest way to stop it and fix your acceptance rate at the same time is just when you roll out to go get that person, just scroll up, hit the red button, and say, I'm done. Don't interrupt me, Uber. I'm busy. I'm working for a tip here. I've expressed this in videos before. So that's just how easy it is to fix your acceptance rate. It will gradually, if you can do that on every run, because you're not turning down runs while you're on a run, your acceptance rate is going to gradually just go up and up and up. That's the way if you want to fix it. I don't worry about acceptance rate. I could care less about it. But if you're concerned and you're working for that gold and platinum and diamond and all the other things, that's a way you can kind of creep it up for yourself, all right? Just stop them. Don't interrupt me, Uber. I'm busy. I'm making some money here. Anyway, that's what I got for the day. I don't work for Avis. I don't work for Uber. I'm an independent person out here just trying to express to you guys how to make some extra money. It's not that hard to do. I do the rental. If you do your own thing in your own personal vehicle, just make sure your insurance company knows and your finance company knows, and cover your ass. Bottom line. Anyway, Daddy-O out for the day. You guys have a good afternoon, good evening. Subscribe, ring the bell, do the thumbs up, all that kind of good stuff. It's great for the channel. Daddy-O out. Have a good afternoon. Bye.